Welcome back, everybody, and welcome to this beginning 2023 maple syrup season. Are you ready? The question is, are you ready? I don't think anybody truly is ready. They're always scrambling a little bit, but are we ready? And so I kind of talk to you about what I've been up to, preparing for this season, what my plans are, and just, soon, right? Soon. So the first thing that I had to do is, in preparing, was I had to rebuild my membrane holder. This was a little thing that I had built a couple years back that would fit inside of my bucket here, and just due to the moisture, I drive screws in on the end. I think the plywood started to split, and at disassembly last year, it fell apart. And I placed it on a shelf, and then I moved it to another spot, and then moved it to another spot. Never really got to it, and so I was able to take an evening this past week. Marked it out with a pencil, cut it on the bandsaw, and was able to make sure that it fit inside the bucket. I had to do a little bit of trimming, and then ready to roll. So one of the things that I try to do, just because of the cost of membranes, is I will usually store my membranes and try to get 2 to 3 seasons out of them. Now, I last year I bought my membranes through Membrane Solutions, and absolutely good product. I've been pleased with it, but I didn't want to buy them every year, and so at the end of last season, I filled up a bucket with just straight RO water. Made sure those membranes were submerged in there really well. And then I snapped that lid on, stored it in my basement where it's kind of dark and cold, cooler at least, and there they are. Started doing the assembly, and quite honestly, I watched last year's video on assembling the system, just because a guy forgets, right? And so if you haven't watched that video, I will definitely link it in one of these corners, whichever one it does. But got the system kind of put back together, watched a little bit to understand how I plumb this. And if you haven't seen this before, this is just my version of the RO bucket. Quite honestly, I could put a lid on it. I could tuck all this in, I could put a lid on it. And since I am working out in a barn, now this is my heated shop now, but it helps insulate it. Someday I'd like to have a dedicated space for syrup, and it'll be bigger then, but until then, right? And so put the system together, just got a bucket of clean water, and I turned on the system, and I start looking for leaks, and golly gee, Joe, wouldn't you imagine? Yeah, there was a couple leaks. Wasn't bad. Disassembled a little bit of the system, tightened down a couple spots, had to put a little Teflon or the thread tape down on these tops, and then I let the system run for, 5, 6, 7 minutes, and put pressure to the whole system. And now I think that we're ready to go. Mean we're ready? I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready. I am not going to jump the gun this year. I'm going to just take my time and wait for things to align, so to speak, right? What's my plans for this season? I have no plans. My plans are to put up about 50 taps this year. Very similar to every other year. I'm going to be using the same carryall that I do behind my tractor. I will be ROing as much as I can, and then I'll boil in the same pan outside, dodging rain, snow, sleet, and sleep probably a little bit, but no improvements, just kind of the same thing. What are my concerns? Always got concerns, always got worries in the back of my head. You know, we don't really have a lot of snow on the ground right now, and so keeping sap cold during the late season becomes a little bit of a challenge. But I've got my eye on a couple parking lots with snow in them, and so I will go and retrieve that snow if needed. Other concerns, time. Time is a big concern. You know, I've got 5 children, and they all have activities. There's basketball, getting the big guy to work, helping him with his projects. I've got trailers full of firewood that needs to be split sometime this spring. And then I'm working, you know, and then, you know, the missus works as well. And so sometimes she can help me with boiling. Sometimes she's working. And so a lot of concerns, but am I excited? I'm excited that I get to harvest this very first harvest off my property. You know, each year we make in between 14 and 18 gallons of syrup. It's a lot of stinking syrup. I've pretty much stopped selling. I've got a couple people that will always ask, and I'll sell them some syrup. But mostly, we just use it. So, this is Joe. I'm going to leave you at that, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Okay? Bye now.